V02 Max. It's very exciting. When you hear this term, V02 Max, what types of things come to mind? What do you guys think of typically? Yeah, torture. Over the last few decades, there have been a number of studies showing that higher V02 Max is actually associated with lower risk of mortality. So the better your cardio-respiratory level of fitness, the longer you're likely to live, right? And so I'll share some studies that show this quite well. But the purpose of the study is just to share some of the science. It's not so much practical, tactical stuff we'll take into the clinic. It's to give you the background on why V02 Max is so important. Okay? If you're familiar with Peter Attia, his book Outlive, this is probably stuff you've heard before. But what I think is really interesting is when you look at the impact of fitness in comparison to things like smoking, diabetes, high blood pressure, I think that's where it gets really interesting. Okay? So to begin with, what is V02 Max? It is the maximum amount of oxygen that we can take in when we are working at our physical limit. So imagine somebody on the treadmill test. This is when they're at their physical peak, how much oxygen can they take in and use in their body. So it's a measure of oxygen consumption, and it's measured in milliliters of oxygen per kilogram body weight per minute. Quick side note, anybody recognize the gentleman on the treadmill?
Is that the marathon runner?
Yes, yeah.
2-hour guy?
That's it. This is Eliud Kipchoge, right? The first human on planet Earth to run 26.2 miles in less than 2 hours.